Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to the Mohegan Sun Arena here in Uncasville, Connecticut, as Premier Boxing and his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner in this interim world title bout, wearing red trunks with multicolored trim, fighting out of and representing his home of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He weighed in at a trim and ready 145 and 1/2 pounds. He is undefeated in his campaign in the ring with an outstanding record of 29 wins, no losses, one no decision, with 27 big wins coming by way of knockout. Here is the hard-hitting IBF #1 ranked welterweight contender, whose last 19 wins have all been by knockout.
Introducing the reigning, defending, undefeated IBF welterweight champion of the world, Jaron Ennis.
As soon as the opening bell sounded, there was very little time spent feeling each other out. Jaron Boots Ennis quickly started changing stances, throwing fast combinations, and keeping Xander Zayas alert and thinking at every moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, the time has come for the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing scheduled for the unified WBO and WBA 154-pound championship of the world, 153 and 1/2 pounds. Y su rival en la esquina roja, Puerto Rico's future of boxing, holds a record of 22 wins, no losses, with 13 wins coming by way of knockout. San Juan, Puerto Rico. Ladies and gentlemen, here's the undefeated, reigning and defending WBO Junior Middleweight Champion of the World. Damos la bienvenida al futuro del boxeo en Puerto Rico, Xander It's showtime!
Neither fighter seemed willing to move backward, and both kept delivering impressive moments right up to the final bell. When the fight was over, both men lifted their hands with full confidence, leaving fans, commentators, and judges with one of the toughest scorecards seen all year.
Your father said, and we were just talking about how if he comes forward, it ends early. Like, how do you think he's going to fight on Saturday night?
To be honest, I don't care how he fight. It don't matter what he do. We ready for everything. We had every style in camp, so it don't matter. Whatever he want to do, we could do it. So y'all know my slogan. We in it all like a robin. So that's what we gonna do.
That's a 2-belt world champion, career-long or almost career-long 154-pounder. But you've said all along, I'm levels above him. There's nothing he can do better than me. Why do you believe that?
Like I said before, he's a solid fighter. You know, he's a world champion for a reason. You know, but it just levels. You know, it's just levels, and I'm going to show come Saturday night and show my skills and my ability. I can't wait, yo. I'm trying to tell y'all, I cannot wait.
That was the moment when the build-up reached a new stage, because the final press conference was no longer about forced smiles or respectful comments. It felt like two undefeated champions had finally run out of reasons to stay polite. Eddie Hearn spoke with confidence before the fighters even said a word, and strongly predicted that Boots Ennis was ready to deliver the best performance of his career. It was hard not to smile, because that was either great promotion or the kind of confidence that ends up looking brilliant or completely wrong.
And this is a massive moment for our team. This is a massive moment for Jaron Ennis. And these are great people as well. These are boxing people. This young man has lived in the gym with his father for years, decades. I want to thank the entire team, Everett, Ivan, Bozy. What amazing people. And it all comes together on Saturday night. It's only the beginning, because he's racing all the way to pound for pound #1 of the sport.
Then Todd Dubois responded immediately by reminding everyone that Xander Zayas was never forced into this matchup. He wanted it himself. That is the point I keep thinking about. No one pushed either fighter into a dangerous challenge. They both chose to take it. Boots Ennis also made it clear that it makes no difference if Xander boxes, applies pressure, or changes his approach, because they have trained for every possible situation. At the same time, Xander's team stayed quiet and did not reveal anything. Honestly, I respect that mindset. Why show your plans before the fight even begins? What stood out the most was the contrast in their personalities. Boots looked like someone eagerly waiting for the opening bell, laughing, smiling, and telling fans to stay focused because a knockout was on the way.
After the fight, everybody's gonna say I'm the best 154 pounder in the world.
Boots, are they saying the same thing about you after the fight?
Most definitely. They going on Saturday night. They gonna be like, man, this kid is amazing. They gonna be like, yo, we never seen nothing like him. I feel like these guys can't do what I do and they don't carry out like how I carry it. And I'm gonna show the world. Like, it's just really there's really levels. And on Saturday night, you will hear the words in the new.
Xander carried a completely different attitude. He stayed calm, focused, and looked like someone watching everyone else react emotionally while quietly preparing his own plan. That is why I liked the moment when Boots dismissed the flat-footed criticism and simply said, "We will see on Saturday." There was no long explanation or extra drama, just one confident fighter facing another. That is what makes this matchup stand out. Both champions truly believe they belong on another level. Both teams are certain they have found the right answer, and neither side appears willing to step back. One fighter believes there are higher levels to reach while the other believes he is already there. In boxing, one man's confidence remains strong while the other's confidence gets challenged in the toughest way. That is why this is more than an ordinary title fight. It is two bright futures meeting at the same moment.
I think I do everything above everybody. I feel like I always make the adjustments, and that's what great fighters do. I'm not gonna sit here and take away credit from what he is as a fighter. He's a great fighter, and I've always said it. And Saturday night, I will prove why I'm better than him.
And that is where DAZN quietly changes the whole discussion, because while the final press conference was full of confidence predictions and both champions promising to show they are the best fighter at 154 pounds, Boots' father sounded like someone who was not focused on winning the headlines. He was focused on winning the fight. That is a different type of confidence. What stood out right away was how calmly Boozy continued, saying that fans still have not seen the best version of Boots. People have heard that from trainers, sparring partners, and former fighters for a long time. But when the person who has watched Boots from the very beginning says it seriously, you start to wonder if another level is still waiting to be revealed. Then he surprised me by giving Xander Zayas real respect instead of criticizing him. Boozy acknowledged that Xander is a unified champion, admitted he did not need to accept this fight, and even praised him for wanting to achieve greatness.
So what does that mean for you when being on the opponent's side, when you see that, when you kind of, like, what does that behavior mean?
Well, I've been said that he was too big. He was going to move up anyway. So, you know what I mean? But he taking a chance, you know what I mean? And he want to be great. So, I mean, like I said, I respect Xander for taking the fight. A lot of guys didn't want to fight Boots.
Right. But talk about that respect, because he's a unified champion. He's not even just kind of a star alone. He's a unified champ, giving opportunity to a guy that a lot of people didn't want to.
And he didn't have to take the fight. He could have forced somebody else. Right. So that's why I respect him. You know what I mean?
That is not weakness. It is the confidence of someone who does not need to create reasons to dislike the opponent in front of him. I actually smiled when Buzzy mentioned Xander being bigger for the division, because instead of seeing it as a huge advantage, he seemed completely relaxed about it. In his view, size cannot replace creativity, and creativity is exactly what he believes Boots has that no opponent can fully prepare for. Then he casually spoke about winning every belt in the division, as if it were a simple task on a daily list. At that moment you realize this camp is not focused on getting through Saturday night. They are already thinking about the future. Whether it is Sebastian Fondora, Virgil Ortiz, or any other champion holding a title, Boozy sounds certain they could all be next in line. That is also why this fight feels so exciting. Xander believes his youth, discipline, and size will lead him to victory. Boozy believes the public has still not seen the complete version of Boots Ennis. One team sees a crowning moment, while the other sees the start of something much greater. In 48 hours, every prediction will mean nothing, and only what happens inside the ring will decide the truth.
It's difficult for Boots. Boots on his game plan. You know what I mean? If he do what he's supposed to do. Boots got so many different ways of fighting, man. Like I keep on telling people, they ain't seen the best Boots yet. And I hope Xander bring it out of me. Then they'll see.
Do you see, like, does negotiations for Virgil Ortiz change after tomorrow if Boots were to become unified? Because now he's a unified champion. Yeah, before there were no belts.
Yeah, but I really can't say about that. We might move on to Vandor if he want to take the fight. You know what I mean? I don't know until after this.
That is what makes this fight so exciting. Every prediction, every analysis, and every confident claim from both teams is finally about to face reality. Boots believes he is prepared to prove that he is the best fighter in the world. Xander Zayas believes this is the moment he shows everyone that he is the top man in the division. One fighter's dream becomes part of history, while the other must return and make adjustments. That is why I want to know your opinion. Who are you choosing, Jaron Boots Ennis or Xander Zayas? Are we about to see a performance that defines a career, or is the young champion ready to surprise the entire boxing world? Share your prediction and scorecard in the comments, because this discussion is still going strong. And do not forget to like, share and subscribe to Boxing Headquarters for more boxing news analysis and reactions. See you in the next one. The bell rang and both fighters came out with confidence, showing right away that neither man planned to give up any ground. Boots used his speed movement and quick combinations, while Xander stayed composed and answered back with sharp punches of his own. The action remained intense as both champions traded rounds and adjusted their tactics throughout the contest. Boots found success with his fast hands and creative attacks, while Xander relied on timing, discipline, and pressure to keep the fight close. As the middle rounds arrived, the pace increased, and fans inside the arena were fully engaged as momentum shifted back and forth. Boots landed several eye-catching combinations, but Xander responded with determination and refused to let the fight slip away. In the championship rounds, both men pushed hard, knowing the outcome was still uncertain. They exchanged powerful shots until the final bell, with neither fighter willing to back down. When the fight ended, both raised their hands, believing they had done enough to win, leaving the judges with a difficult decision and giving fans a memorable battle to discuss for a long time.